We're diving deep into something pretty serious.
Hmm.
The race for fifth-generation fighter jets and what it means for India.
Yeah.
We've got Wikipedia articles on the Chengdu J-20 and the HAL AMCA.
Okay.
And I think our mission here is to figure out just how big of a challenge India is facing with both of its neighbors
Right.
having or developing these advanced aircraft.
It's a fascinating situation.
It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
India is in a tough spot, strategically speaking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Bet.
First up, the Chengdu J-20.
Right.
This is China's entry into that super exclusive club of countries with operational fifth-generation stealth fighters.
It's a major achievement for them.
Yeah.
Lead the second country in the world to pull it off.
Right.
It's definitely shifted the balance of power
Oh, yeah, for sure.
in the region.
So from the sources, it looks like the J-20 has some pretty unique design features,
Yeah.
like those canards on the front.
Mm-hmm.
Don't those mess with its stealth capabilities?
You know, there's a misconception that canards and stealth don't mix.
Okay.
But the Chinese engineers have managed to make it work.
Really?
Those canards actually enhance the J-20's maneuverability without compromising its stealth profile.
So it's agile, A&D, stealthy.
Exactly.
Not a good combination for anyone going up against it.
Not at all.
What about the engine?
Okay.
I read somewhere that they had some trouble with that initially.
Yeah, they did.
Uh-huh.
Early J-20s relied on Russian engines,
Right.
but China has since developed its own powerful engine,
Okay.
the WS-15.
Oh, wow.
It gives the J-20 supercruise capability, meaning it can fly faster than the speed of sound without needing to use afterburners.
Oh, wow.
That's huge in terms of fuel efficiency and range.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole thing about a twin-seat variant.
Right.
The J-20S.
Yes.
What's the deal with that?
This is where things get really interesting from a strategic standpoint.
Okay.
A second crew member opens up a lot of possibilities. One theory is that the J-20S is designed for drone control.
Okay.
Imagine a stealth fighter coordinating a swarm of unmanned aircraft.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely.
Okay, so China's clearly ahead in this race.
Yeah, they've got a head start for sure.
How does India's AMCA compare?
What?
It's still in development, right?
That's right. It's not operational yet,
Right.
which is a major concern for India.
I can imagine.
But on paper, the AMCA is looking pretty impressive.
Okay.
It's going to be equipped with an advanced AESE radar,
What is that?
which stands for Active Electronically Scanned Array.
Oh,
It's basically a super sophisticated radar system.
Okay.
Much more powerful than those found on older aircraft.
gotcha.
And they're also working on some cutting-edge stealth features.
Yeah, I read about this Analakia system, this metamaterial cloaking technology
Right.
developed by IIT Kanpur.
Yeah, it sounds almost like something out of science fiction.
It really does.
The goal is to make the AMCA practically invisible to radar,
Oh, wow.
which would be a significant advantage.
Sure.
But of course, the real test is how it performs in real-world conditions.
That's true. And even if the technology's there,
Right.
India still needs to build the infrastructure, train the pilots, the whole shebang.
Exactly.
It's a massive undertaking.
Absolutely. And they're doing all of this while facing the very real threat of already operational fifth-generation fighters
Right.
in the hands of their neighbors.
Okay, so let's talk about those neighbors.
Sure.
China is a given.
Of course.
But what about Pakistan?
Well,
The outline mentioned their role in this fifth-generation fighter race.
Pakistan's involvement adds another layer of complexity to the situation.
Okay.
They haven't officially confirmed any plans to acquire a fifth-generation fighter,
Uh-huh.
but there's a lot of speculation that they're working towards it,
Really?
likely with China's help.
So India could potentially be facing a two-pronged threat,
Potentially, yes.
with both China and Pakistan fielding these advanced aircraft.
It's a possibility that Indian defense planners have to consider.
That's got to be a major headache for them.
It certainly is. This isn't just about keeping up with the Joneses anymore.
Right.
This is about India's ability to defend its airspace
Yeah.
and maintain its security in a rapidly changing strategic landscape.
So what options does India have?
Well-
What can they do to counter this threat?
The most obvious answer is to accelerate the development of the AMCA.
Okay.
They need to get it operational as soon as possible
Right.
to close that capability gap.
But, as we've discussed,
Yeah.
it's not just about building the aircraft.
No, it's not.
It's about having the whole support system in place, trained pilots,
Absolutely.
maintenance crews, logistics, the whole 9 yards.
All of it.
That takes...
It takes time,
Yeah.
resources,
Yeah.
and strategic planning. It's a complex challenge.
It sounds like India's got a tough road ahead.
It's definitely a challenging situation. But India has a history of overcoming adversity and emerging stronger.
Okay.
This is a defining moment for their defense industry and their strategic posture in the region. And it's not just about the hardware either.
Right.
India needs to think strategically about how to counter the specific threats posed by these fifth-generation fighters.
So what are some of the key strategies they could consider? I mean, building a whole fleet of AMCAs is going to take time.
It will.
What can they do in the meantime?
Well, one option is to focus on enhancing their existing air defense capabilities.
Okay.
Think upgrading radar systems to better detect stealth aircraft, developing more advanced anti-aircraft missiles, and strengthening early warning systems.
So it's about creating a multi-layered defense network,
Exactly.
not just relying on one superweapon to save the day.
That's right. It's about making it as difficult as possible for enemy aircraft to operate in Indian airspace,
Gotcha.
even if they have stealth capabilities.
That makes sense. But wouldn't India also need to upgrade its intelligence gathering capabilities?
Absolutely.
I mean, knowing where those enemy aircraft are and what they're up to is crucial, right?
Intelligence plays a critical role in both deterrence and response.
Okay.
India needs to invest in both technology and human expertise to improve its ability to track and analyze its neighbors' military activities.
It's like a high-stakes chess match.
Yeah,
You need to know your opponent's moves before you can make your own.
that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And in this case, India is facing two very capable opponents.
We've talked a lot about the technological side of things.
Yeah.
But what about the human element?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine flying one of these fifth-generation fighters
Right.
requires a whole different skill set than operating older aircraft.
You're absolutely right. Pilots need to be able to manage incredibly complex systems,
Right.
make split-second decisions in highly stressful situations,
Sure.
and operate in extremely contested environments.
So pilot training is going to be crucial for India
Absolutely crucial.
to effectively operate the AMCA once it's ready.
And they can't wait until the AMC is operational to start that training.
Right.
They need to start now,
Okay.
using simulators, and potentially even sending pilots to train on similar aircraft,
Oh, wow.
operated by allied countries.
So India needs to be thinking long-term,
Yes.
not just focusing on the immediate threat.
Exactly. This is about building a sustainable and robust air force for the future.
I'm starting to realize just how multifaceted this whole situation is.
It is.
It's not just about building a plane.
Nope.
It's about upgrading infrastructure, training pilots, gathering intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
and so much more.
It's a complex challenge, no doubt about it, and
Yeah.
it's one that requires a holistic approach,
Okay.
considering all the interconnected factors.
You mentioned international collaboration earlier.
I did.
Could that play a role in helping India catch up?
Absolutely. India has been working with other countries on various defense projects.
Okay.
And those partnerships could be crucial in accelerating the development of the AMCA
Right.
and acquiring the necessary expertise.
But doesn't relying on foreign partners also come with risks?
It does.
I mean, what if those relationships change down the line?
That's a valid point. India needs to strike a balance
Okay.
between self-reliance and international cooperation.
Gotcha.
They need to develop core technologies independently
Right.
while also leveraging strategic partnerships
Okay.
to gain access to expertise and technology they might not have otherwise.
So it's about diversification,
Yeah,
not putting all your eggs in one basket.
precisely. It's about ensuring that India has multiple options
Okay.
and can maintain its strategic autonomy.
Okay, so we've talked about upgrading existing defenses,
Right.
intelligence pilot training, international collaboration.
Yep.
Is there anything else India needs to consider?
Yes, and this is a crucial point.
Okay.
India needs to recognize that defense is not just about military hardware and strategy.
Okay.
It's also about economic strength and technological innovation.
So you're saying that a strong economy is the foundation for a strong military?
Exactly. A robust economy provides the resources to fund a modern military.
Right.
And a culture of innovation ensures those resources are used effectively.
It's a long game, not just a quick fix.
That's right. India needs to invest in research and development across all sectors,
Okay.
not just defense.
Nah.
This will not only strengthen its military capabilities, but also drive economic growth and overall prosperity.
It's a win-win situation.
It is.
Investment in technology benefits both the military and the civilian sectors.
Precisely. And that brings us to another important aspect. Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity.
Yes.
How does that fit into all of this?
In today's world, cybersecurity is an integral part of national security.
Okay.
Fifth-generation fighters are incredibly reliant on computer systems and networks, making them vulnerable to cyber attacks.
So India needs to ensure that its military networks are protected.
Absolutely.
To prevent its adversaries from hacking into its most advanced aircraft.
Exactly. Cyber attacks can disrupt communications, compromise sensitive data, and even cripple entire systems.
It's like a whole new battlefield.
Yeah.
One that's invisible but no less important.
That's a great way to put it. And it's a battlefield where India needs to be prepared to fight.
So what steps can they take to strengthen their cybersecurity posture?
Well, it starts with investing in the right technology and expertise.
Okay.
They need to develop robust firewalls,
Right.
intrusion detection systems, and other security measures to protect their networks.
Okay.
But it's not just about technology.
What else is involved?
They also need to focus on training personnel and developing strong cybersecurity protocols.
So it's about having both the technical and the human elements in place.
Exactly. Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility,
Gosh.
from the top brass to the individual soldier or technician.
It's a whole new way of thinking about defense, isn't it?
It is, and it's one that India needs to embrace if they want to stay ahead of the curve in this rapidly evolving security landscape.
We've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
from upgrading existing air defenses to investing in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
It seems like India has a lot on its plate.
They certainly do, but I think it's important to remember that India is a resilient and resourceful nation. They've faced challenges before,
Right.
and they've always found a way to overcome them.
And hopefully all of this investment in defense will have spin-off benefits for the civilian sector as well, right?
Absolutely. Military innovation often drives technological advancements
Right.
that have far-reaching applications.
Like a silver lining to this whole arms race.
You could say that. And it's something that India can leverage to its advantage.
Yeah, it really is fascinating to see how interconnected everything is.
It is.
Technology, economics, global politics, even cybersecurity.
Yeah.
It's all part of this complex equation that India has to navigate.
It really highlights the challenges facing any nation trying to maintain its security in the 21st century. For sure.
It's not just about having the biggest guns anymore.
Not at all.
It's about being adaptable, innovative, and thinking several steps ahead.
Exactly. And it's about recognizing that threats can come from multiple directions
Right.
in many different forms.
We've covered a lot of ground here today.
We have.
And it's clear that India faces a significant challenge
Yeah.
with both China and Pakistan developing these advanced fifth-generation fighters.
It is a significant challenge.
It's not an insurmountable challenge.
I agree. India has a lot of strength to draw upon.
Like what?
A growing economy, a talented workforce, and a long history of innovation.
It sounds like a crucial moment for India.
It is.
A real turning point in their defense strategy.
The decisions they make in the coming years will have long-term implications.
Oh, yeah.
Their security and their place in the world.
So for our listener who's been diving deep into this topic with us,
Yeah.
what's the key takeaway here?
I think the most important thing to understand is that the world is entering a new era of air warfare. Fifth-generation fighters are changing the rules of the game,
Wow.
and India needs to be prepared to compete at this level.
It's a whole new ball game with much higher stakes.
Exactly. And it's a game that requires a comprehensive and strategic approach, considering not just the military aspects,
Right.
but also the economic, technological, and even cyber dimensions of national security.
This has been a truly insightful deep dive.
It has.
I think we've all gained a much better understanding of the complexities involved here.
I agree. It's a topic that deserves continued attention and analysis.
And for our listener out there,
Yeah.
here's something to consider. How do you think the rise of fifth-generation fighters will reshape the global balance of power in the coming decades?
It's a question worth pondering. The implications are far-reaching.
Yeah, they are.
Extending beyond just the military realm.
Well, on that note, we'll have to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time. Stay curious, keep exploring, and remember that knowledge is power.